Even the most loyal soldiers will be silent for a moment after reading what is really happening behind the majestic walls that have only been shown in passing in BTS's vlogs, live broadcasts, or variety show pieces. Because the reality, the glittering world they display in front of the camera is only a small part of reality. And when one by one the doors of BTS members' private homes opened, there was only one name that made everyone stop breathing for a moment: Jungkook. The question is no longer, who has the most expensive house, or who lives the most luxurious life among BTS members? The question now is, what have we not known about Jungkook and his secret wealth that even HYB seems to be deliberately silent about? In a world filled with the luxury of Korean celebrities, fans are already accustomed to price tags of hundreds of millions of won. But no one really expected that among those global legends, the golden magne was hiding a property empire that would stun even the snappiest investors in Seoul. It all started with one simple question: why is it that Jungkook's house is never fully featured, even in private content? Let's go back for a moment to the early years of BTS, when the 7 young men were still living in one small dorm in Nonhyundong, sharing a cramped room and sleeping on the floor. We watched their togetherness grow, their friendship develop, and how each of them constructs a dream from scratch. But now, one by one began to choose to live independently, with private homes that are no longer adjacent. Taehyung moves to the elite area of Hanamdong. RM chooses tranquility in Ninwon Hanam. Jin buys a private property in a strategic location. J-Hope has a super exclusive penthouse in Seoul Forest, in Suga. Of course, he has a $1 billion apartment in Yongsan. But then, rumors swirled about Jungkook. The public believes Jungkook has only one luxury home in Itaewon, one he bought with cash. No installments, no credit. A private residence that was immediately paid in full by the owner, who was only 25 years old at that time. But here's the surprising part: the house is just one of Jungkook's 6 private properties in Seoul. And most of those properties are not listed directly under the name John Jungkook in the public registry. Why? This question leads us to something greater than mere wealth. It's about strategy, about fear, about identity security, and maybe about something more secret than we can imagine. Exclusive searches by a number of Korean property media revealed that there were several luxury apartment units in elite areas such as Cheongdam, Hanam, and even Gangnam, which were recorded under the name of shell companies or intermediary names. But the purchase patterns, transaction times, and property agents used were all identical to Jungkook's transactions. One of the most shocking clues was the testimony of an anonymous real estate agent who claimed to have made a transaction with one of the biggest K-pop stars, who bought property for 7 billion won in cash without wanting his name on the record. And this is where the surprise begins. Another anonymous source, a former HYB property security officer, revealed that Jungkook's private home was even guarded by a military-grade security system. Tighter than the president's house, he said. Not a single footage or interior layout could be leaked to the public. Even HYB's own staff couldn't carelessly enter. Why does an idol, even though he is as famous as Jungkook, need such a tight security system? Some netizens have speculated that this is because Jungkook has been the target of a group of investors, possibly even criminal groups, who are trying to gain control of the properties of top celebrities for the benefit of the black market. But there are also those who believe that Jungkook is hiding something behind his property, something more than luxury. Could it be that there are personal secrets that have not been told to the army so far? We know that Jungkook is not the type to flaunt wealth. On many occasions, he looks the most modest among the members. But it is precisely simplicity that is the best shield to cover something much larger. When the other members showed their full houses on shows like In the SOP or BTS Bon Voyage, Jungkook was always evasive. Even in cooking vlogs, the kitchen and living room are always blurred or only shown at a glance. And maybe, now we know why. Because Jungkook's house is not just a house, but it's emblematic of the rise of a young man who grew up from a small town in Busan, becoming the owner of one of the most staggering portfolios of personal property in the K-pop world. And more than that, the house also harbors traces of struggle, loneliness, and perhaps personal wounds that we never knew because we were too busy seeing him smile on stage. And the questions have not stopped there. Why has HYB never publicly released Jungkook's actual wealth data, when RM, Suga, and even Jin's wealth is often mentioned in media reports? Is this because Jungkook's true wealth is far beyond the public's estimation, and if known, could lead to jealousy or even internal conflict? A former financial analyst at one of South Korea's major banks revealed that Jungkook may have been making property investments since the age of 21, tapping into a personal network of entrepreneurs interested in working with him. Not only did he buy a house, he had a scheme. He understands the market. He has a mentor. And he moves in silence. In this context, the question, who is the richest BTS member, it seems to be revisited. Because if we talk about liquid assets, stocks, and property resale values, then Jungkook's name is most likely at the top, even beating RM and Suga, who are known as smart stock investors. And if that's true, then there's one more thing we have to ask. What will Jungkook do with all this wealth? We must realize one thing. In the world of celebrities, home is not just a place to rest. A home can be a status symbol, a bastion of privacy, even a hidden center of power. And in Jungkook's case, we seem to be dealing with something more than just a luxury residence. Because the deeper we delve, the more it seems that the houses belonging to him are more like a personal headquarters, isolated, locked, and connected through secret communication lines. Yeah, you didn't read it wrong. Some reliable sources in the world of Korean security technology claim that one of Jungkook's houses in Itaewon has been equipped with an anti-wiretap communication system, which is used only by the government and military companies. Why does an idol need a military equivalent device? Did Jungkook keep anything there? Or someone? This is not just a house with a swimming pool and home theater. This is a private residential complex that has underground bunkers, a private recording studio with acoustics never revealed in the official HYBE documentation, and even, according to leaked sources, soundproof rooms that cannot be tracked with thermal radars from the outside. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a fact that began to unfold when one of Korea's top construction companies suddenly pulled back on reports of a luxury property development in Itaewon after it was discovered the project was secretly financed by a company account traced to an alias Jungkook used. One of the former architects of the secret project even admitted that the project had a military-like security system, and the entire blueprint was destroyed once the project was completed. The architect even revealed that there is direct underground access to a special parking area that allows homeowners to get in and out without being seen by street cameras or paparazzi. This is not just luxury. This is a high level of concealment. Of course, this invites a big question. What is Jungkook hiding? Some ARMY fanatics speculate that Jungkook's home was used to hide prototypes of future music, secret unreleased songs, private albums that no one had heard of, perhaps even secret international collaborations that could not be made public due to contractual matters. But there are also those who are beginning to associate this with more personal things. Could this be related to a secret love affair that has been so desperately kept from the public? The issue of Jungkook and his secret relationship is nothing new. Names such as IU, Lisa Blackpink, to a newcomer female actor were once associated with her. But there was never a single piece of really solid evidence. Was it because there was no connection? Or was it because everything was hidden in that house? An investigative journalist who once followed Jungkook's private car revealed that the vehicle always stops at locations undetected by ordinary GPS.